Alright, so what's going on, guys? It's Chris again, here for IEOR 190G, a smartphone patent war. And today's topic is Google, so let's get into it. I'm sure a lot of people have been talking about this, the recent purchase of Motorola Mobility. Just really quickly, if you hadn't heard, somehow purchased for $12.5 billion. Motorola has $3 billion in cash, so Google's spending a little over $9 billion for this company. And everyone's really emphasizing the patents, and rightfully so. MMI has three aspects of their business, and none of them are really doing too well. Their year-on-year smartphone sales have fallen. Gross sales have fallen from 76% to 8%. The tablet PCs, for instance, they shipped 200,000 of them in the fourth quarter compared to the 10.5 million Android devices that were shipped. And they have this home division that's actually profitable, but it's looking at $250 million revenue a year. And Google just spent $9.5 billion for this. So it doesn't look like there's a lot of money there for Google. So it's kind of, everyone's assuming they got for the patents. This is what they want to do. This is what they're spending their money on. And I agree. And there's kind of 2 points here in this article that I was reading that should be in the description that I want to touch on. I just want to give you my opinions on them. And the first option for these patents is actually to directly combat Apple. And that's something that I think a lot of us can already realize, we can already see. It would be a literal suing for peace, if you will, kind of like a mutually assured destruction. Like, hey, Apple, you sue me, we'll sue you. A couple of the patents that are actually really good for this would be the basic IEEE 802.11 standard, which is a Wi-Fi patent, or another one, it's AVC H.264, which is used for a majority of video encoding. And so they have these patents that they could use that could really cause a headache to Apple. The other option is they could actually try to use these to get some of the non-compliant device makers to get a commercial license with Google for Android, so they could start getting some licensing fees. An example that comes to mind is Amazon. They could use these patents and basically force these people, say, hey, we have the patents. I don't know if they threaten lawsuit, but some kind of leverage that really says, you got to work with us. So those are two quick options what Google can do with these things. And personally, for me, I think they should do both. I think when we look at Google, if you look actually at their market share, I just saw some information earlier today showing that Apple actually regained the lead in the smartphone market share because of incredible sales because of the new iPhone. And I feel like Apple started this. I feel like when we look at it, it really looks like Apple is the leader, and Apple took it upon themselves to do some damage and to do some harm to their competitors. And when you think about it, the smartphone business is going to be so huge. There's so many more people, so many billions more people convert over to these phones. I think Google has to react. I think the line in the sand has been drawn, and so I think Google should use these against Apple. They should either hold them over their head and say, "Hey, back off us, let go of these lawsuits you have coming our way," or even try to stifle some of Apple's innovation. I think unfortunately, I'm kind of like an eye for an eye kind of guy, and I think they're well within the right to do that. And regarding the patents to get licensing agreements with some of these non-compliant device makers, I think that's a great idea. Not only to get these device makers on board so they can get the money, but to also stop some of the fragmentation that has been happening to their operating system, because there's so many different developers, so many different platforms, and so many different phones that are utilizing Android. They can really prove detrimental to their business model, to the options for their developers, things of that nature. I think it's an excellent opportunity for them to basically consolidate their business, consolidate Android, and really try to get their feet on the ground in terms of making a stand at Apple and even possibly making a move. So that's all I have for today. Look forward to seeing you guys in class.